So let's talk about something we all think about. How do we decide who's the best person for a job? I mean, really, what is merit? Is it about what you can prove in a single super high stakes moment? Or is it about the sum of all your experiences, the journey you've been on for years? Today, we're going to explore two totally different answers to that big question. Just imagine that for a second. Seriously, your whole career, everything you've worked for, and it all comes down to one single test. No resume, no track record, no one to vouch for you. Just you, a test, and maybe an interview. Your entire professional future decided in a day. It's a pretty wild idea, and maybe a little terrifying. But you have to ask, is it fair? To really get into this, we're going to put two fascinating documents head to head. On one side, we've got this radical proposal that argues for a purely test-based system for government jobs. And on the other side, we've got the actual resume of a cybersecurity expert, which tells a completely different story, one of merit built over a decade. It's theory versus reality. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let's dive into this first idea, the test-only system. The proposal is for a system of pure, almost clinical, test-based meritocracy. It's this really bold attempt to engineer the absolute fairest hiring process you can imagine. And here's the core of it. Jobs are awarded based solely on your performance. You know, that one word, solely, is doing all the heavy lifting here. It means your background, your connections, heck, even your past experience, none of it matters. The only thing that counts is how you do on that one day. So how would it work? Well, it's broken down into three pretty clear stages. First up, a written exam. This is to test your knowledge, your logic, the hard skills. Then, second, a personal interview to get a feel for your personality and how you communicate, the soft skills. But it's this third stage that is just wow. It's the most radical part. Absolutely no concessions. The same exact rules, the same test for every single person, no exceptions. And this phrase right here, it just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. It translates to equal opportunity without concessions. It really captures this powerful, idealistic vision, right? It's basically a promise of a perfectly level playing field, where the only thing that can get you ahead is your proven ability. All right, so we've seen the clean, structured world of theory. Now let's pivot hard into the messy, complicated reality of an actual career. We're going to look at the resume of Pawan Kumar, a subject matter expert in cybersecurity. And you're going to see a very, very different picture of how merit gets built. So, how does that perfect ideal hold up in the real world? Let's trace the steps of a real professional journey and find out. Just look at this progression. It's a story. It starts back in 2011 with a desktop support role. Then, pretty quickly, a promotion. Then another role change. And finally, after years of hard work, he earns the title of subject matter expert. See? This isn't a snapshot. This is a story of constant learning, adapting, and taking on more and more responsibility over a decade. And if you need any more proof of that constant learning, here it is. 25. More than 25 professional certifications. Think about that. Each one of those is its own little test, its own validation of a very specific skill, from Microsoft and Citrix to Red Hat and SentinelOne. This is not one test. It is a continuous, relentless process of proving your expertise. And this slide gives you a little taste of what that expertise actually looks like in practice. We are talking about highly specific, super technical skills. Things like penetration testing to find weaknesses in a system, using advanced tools to hunt for digital threats, scripting to automate really complex jobs. Now, ask yourself, could you possibly design one single exam that could effectively measure this huge, diverse, hands-on skill set? That is a really tough question. So, okay, we've got our two competing models on the table, the snapshot and the journey. Now let's put them right next to each other to really get what the trade-offs are. The difference is pretty stark when you look at it like this, isn't it? The test model gives you this standardized snapshot. It's all about theoretical knowledge, and it's the same for everyone. But the career model, that's a unique journey. It's all about demonstrating practical, applied skills over years and years. You could almost say one is about potential and the other is about proof. So which one's better? Well, it kind of depends on what you're looking for, right? The test model is incredibly efficient and it scores really high on what feels like objectivity. But when it comes to validating if someone can actually do the job with all its real-world messy problems, the career model is the clear winner. So you're trading off this scalable fairness for a deep, individualized assessment. And all of this brings us right back to our big central question. After looking at both the ideal system and the real world journey, what can we really say about the nature of true merit?
It really just boils down to this, doesn't it? Do we define a person's worth by their ability to conquer one single, very difficult challenge? Or do we define it by their resilience, their growth, and the wisdom they've picked up over a long and winding road?
So, as we wrap this up, this is the question I really want to leave you with. Is merit some kind of door that you just unlock with the right key at the right time? Or is it a path you have to build for yourself, step by step, stone by stone, over the course of your life? There's definitely no easy answer, but it's for sure a question worth thinking about.